And I ain't talking about me looking good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice. We already rejoicing, and we're so excited about today. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. For those of you that are coming on, please do your boy a favor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, and tag Lolly Dolly everybody and let them know your boy, Prophet Ramon, the squad. I got my squad here with me, and the Ramonepreston Show. We are live in his house right here from the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. Please, ladies and gentlemen, drop in the comments what city you repping today. Rep your squad, rep your geographic location. Let me know where you're watching us from. Shout out to all of our coaching community members. Shout out to all of our Blueprint game plan members. Shout out to all of you who at some point and through some door made a connection with me and my company, my organization. I love and appreciate all of you. One of the greatest joys that I get in life is helping my people get to the next level. And that's spiritually, socially, and as it is on this show, economically. And so for those of you that are coming on, please, if you would be so kind, hit that like button, hit that share button, tag Lolly Dolly everybody, and drop in the comments what city you are watching us from. One of the reasons why I asked that question and I compel you to put the details of the city you're watching from is because there are other people who come on, whether we're live or maybe a pre-recorded video that they watch, but they're able to see in the live chat those of you that engage us, that ask questions, that give us feedback. I'm so appreciative. If I'm not mistaken, we're close to 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're close to 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if you're not on YouTube, if you're not watching us from YouTube, I want you at some point today, once the show ends, please make your way to YouTube. Type in the search engine. If you don't know where I'm at, Ramonepreston, I will pop up, and I want you to hit that subscribe button. I really would love for you to follow us, not just on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, but also on YouTube. It is the most watched platform that we have. It is the most responsive and engaging platform that we have. We have been so blessed to build so many amazing relationships with some of you who are watching today that up until the time we met on YouTube, we didn't even know each other. But I feel like you're part of my family. For those of you that I've been able to talk to over the phone, whether it's been through a free consultation, whether it's been through me answering a few questions that you may have had. It may have been an initial coaching session, whatever it is. It may have been an onboarding you to our Blueprint game plan. If at any point I was able to talk to you and we didn't even know each other, but once we started talking, we felt like we was family. That's what the RP business community is about. It's actually what my whole ministry and my entire organization is about, because we have 5 core values in our conference room on the other side of the camera. There's another room outside of my executive office that we use as our conference room. And there are 5 core values that we have on the wall. And the first core value is to treat everyone like family. Now, on the surface, that might just be easy to understand. Okay, treat everybody like family. But when you start unpacking those layers, that means a lot of things. It means that nobody's a stranger, at least not to me. I don't see strangers. I don't have strangers. When I walk into a room, when I grace the platform of social media like I am today, I talk to you like I'm going to talk to my brothers, my sisters, my spiritual sons and daughters, my biological children, my grandkids, my family. You know why? Because you are a part of my family, and I want you to win. I want you to succeed. So thank you so much. For those of you that are watching for the first time, welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. I'm your host, Ramonepreston, and I have the privilege every Monday through Friday to show up on this platform 12 o'clock noon, Monday through Friday, and to share information with you on how to properly start, structure, and scale your businesses, your ministries, your income streams, and your wealth building dreams, which, by the way, what we offer through our coaching program, through our online training program, and even through our consulting division, what we offer in terms of training and coaching for people like you who are individuals and entrepreneurs, what we offer can actually work for you within 30 days and across the board. We have seen in our average client base, we have seen an increase of income by 30%. So if you're interested in properly starting and structuring your business, your ministry, your income streams within a 30-day window, and if you're interested in scaling that business and or your income by 30%, you can do the math. Take whatever you make right now every month and add 30% to it. What I'm saying to you is what we offer through our coaching program, through our training program, and even through our consulting that we provide through our coaching and training, what we offer can increase that number by at least 30%. So if I have your attention, I want you to dig deep with me today, because we're getting ready to talk about something that I already know is near and dear to your heart. And that is two critical words. And those words are financial freedom, baby. Financial freedom. Who the Son sets free is free indeed. And guess what? I want you to be free. I want your family to be free. And guess what? I already know you want to be free. I know you want financial freedom. I know you want your family to experience financial freedom. Truth is, most of you, if not all of you that are listening to me today and watching me today, you have had dreams all your life of financial freedom. How many of you are like me when you watch certain shows? Now, I'm a 70s baby. So when I grew up, we used to watch shows like the lifestyles of the rich and famous, right? Some of y'all might have been like MTV Crib kids, all right? Some of you might be the reality TV show generation, to see how people are flossing and flexing on yachts and with Bentleys and Rolls Royce, and how they got bust down watches and they got VVs everywhere shining. Well, whatever generation you're a part of, okay? At some point in your life, I guarantee you have had dreams about financial freedom. Now, today I'm going to be talking about some of the most important aspects of financial freedom. And when I'm done, I'm going to make an offer to you, and I want you to take me up on the offer. I want you to just detach yourself from over-processing and overthinking opportunities when they show up. Because when an opportunity shows up and it connects with where you know you want to go, we're talking about that place of financial freedom, you don't want to pass that opportunity up. Why? Because if an opportunity comes in front of me, and that is an opportunity for me to experience a level of freedom in an area that I've been dreaming and desiring to experience freedom in, why would I pass that opportunity up? Whatever those barriers are, whatever those objections are, whatever those issues and items are, I want to help you remove them so that you can successfully push through that moment, make a decision so you can get to financial freedom. So let's go through a quick exercise. When you think of financial freedom, what do you think about? What do you imagine if your life was free financially? Now, for me, I'm going to give you some clear working definitions and descriptions on this. But for me, while you're processing that question, for me, when I think of financial freedom, outside of the definitions and descriptions that I'm going to give to you, fundamentally speaking, I'm thinking about being able to do more for my church, do more for my children, my grandchildren, do more for my staff and my team. One of the greatest conversations I had this morning in our staff meeting and briefing was to be able to do numbers and to show my staff, my team, people who believe in me and who trust me to help them get to their next level, to be able to do numbers and math and metrics and show them, here is where your next level is. Here is where you can actually go financially. That gave me just as much joy as it does for me to do it myself, because that's what freedom is. Freedom is about you not just doing something for you, but it's also about doing the things that you know God has put into you that you want to do for others. So even though I'm going to give you some definitions and descriptions on this whole idea of financial freedom, but I want you to start allowing yourself to think about things that relate to financial freedom. My wife mentioned it yesterday in church, that she heard me say to her, and I actually got the original quote from somebody else. I just kind of put a remix on it. I do that to everybody information. Anytime I get something from somebody, I'm going to switch it up so it can make sense to me, whether I give them credit or not. All right, it's mine once I got it. But here's my point. She brought it up, and I want to bring up what my version of it is to you. Give yourself permission to think on how it will look and feel if you were financially free. Can you do that for me today? I don't want you to be distracted, especially if you're taking the time out to watch me and to listen to me, whether you're driving, whether you're at home, you might be in the cubicle, you might be in the bathroom, wherever you at. I want you to really lean in and listen to my heart today. And I want you to understand today that there's a place called financial freedom that's there for you. And the only difference between where you are right now and that place called financial freedom, the only difference is what you know and what you're willing to do with what you know. So we're going to solve that what you know and what you do with what you know problem. We're going to move that problem off the list. So that means what's in between you getting from where you at to where you're going? Nothing. If we can eliminate that issue, that barrier. And I'm going to do that for you today, okay? But I want you to have an image of what financial freedom would look like for you. Meaning that if you were financially free today, what are some things that you know you would do today if money wasn't no issue for you? If time was really not an issue for you? If the issues and items that are piling up in your life right now that seem to be throwing you off and keeping you stuck, what if none of those issues were there? What if you were free financially? Who would you be helping? Is it your mom that you would just call and say, Mom, what's your payoff on your car? Is it your spouse that you will call and say, you can go ahead and clock out? Is it a sibling that you'll be able to say, where you at? Listen, get to the airport, come on up here. Don't worry about nothing. And let me tell you something. I know I can honestly say it, and I mean it means the world, because I have been in that position to say that to a lot of my family members, to friends, to people that are in my world. I've been able to make those kind of statements. But believe me, those statements came as a result of me putting myself in a position to experience this thing called financial freedom. To be able to speak to a family member, to be able to speak to my wife, to be able to give my children and grandchildren the confidence to know we gonna be good. We might have to fight through some stuff. We might have to live our own lives. But at the end of the day, because of what this person has done, our lives are gonna be better. That's financial freedom for you. So I want you to have that image in your mind. Who is it that you would help today if money wasn't no issue? Who is it that you'll go visit today if money wasn't no issue? We want to solve that problem today, okay? Now, while I'm going through some of the details, some of the definitions and descriptions, because I'm only limited in what I'm able to share with you today. But just keep in mind, if what you hear today resonates with you, I'm going to make an offer for you at the end of this show. And I want you to take me up on this offer because I want to onboard you. I want to plug you into our business community today so that you can join me tonight at 5:00 p.m. for my live Zoom coaching call that I host every Monday at 5:00 for those who are in my business coaching community. So we want to talk about the path to financial freedom. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to drop the questions in the comments. We'll answer the question, and I'll make sure that we expedite it as soon as possible. Please give me feedback. Give me feedback. If there are certain things that stand out while I'm talking, can you please drop those statements, those phrases in the comments? Because I want other people to see that, oh, he said that. Oh, that resonated with me. If something jumps out that I'm saying, I want you to capture that, drop it in the comments. I was speaking to somebody Saturday night when I flew in from South Florida, and I went right from the airport to my mother-in-law's birthday celebration we had up here in Buckhead, right across the street. And I was having a conversation with somebody, and one of the first things they said to me was, I watch your show, I watch you on social media all the time. And they was just saying how they watch me in amaze, and other people be seeing them watching me, and they be asking them, oh wow, who is that? And they were just going on and on about how they appreciate, this is why I'm bringing this up, they appreciate, outside of what I say, outside of what I'm teaching, they appreciate the fact that I have a community that's always engaging. I think they be watching me on YouTube, because everybody be on YouTube typing and commenting and responding, and they were just so excited. They was like, it's so amazing to watch you live, and then to see everybody's commenting and just really engaging you. So please, community, please, family, don't leave your boy out there to hang. Please give me some feedback. Let your boy know. And guess what? Just in case you don't know, I want you to hear this. I go back and I look in the live chat. I see names. If you've ever sent me a message, you know I've done my best to respond. Just the other week when I was in Miami for that week, I literally went back about a year or two and looked at every comment. I ain't talking about the haters who made comments. I ain't talking about the skeptics, because I don't even have energy and time for them. Every once in a while I respond to a hater just to get on their nerves, but probably with a joke. But everybody else, I went back about a year or two, and I started responding, making sure that I answered questions. And so I appreciate the engagement. So when it comes to the path of financial freedom, think about the word I'm using, path to financial freedom. So for all of you that created that image in your mind, you want to help mama, you want to put your spouse in a better position. We were just on the phone with a client who joined our coaching community. They signed up for our program this morning right before the show. And one of the things that she was saying was near and dear to her heart was, in addition to her wanting to be trained and trusting that I'm the person, our business is the business that she wants to connect to. She was like, we follow and listen to other people, but we know when it comes to this, you the man. And you've proven yourself. But one thing that stood out even beyond that, in which that was awesome to hear, but she was saying, I want to make sure my husband has a vehicle that he can step into when he transitions out of the workforce. I thought that was powerful. But guess what she was basically saying in essence? She was basically saying, I want to create a level of freedom so that when my husband transitions, she had her husband in mind. See, when you have all these other things going on in your life, you kind of forget about where you really want to be. So I want to reset your mind to get back on the path to financial freedom. There's a scripture in the book of Galatians. I'm getting preachy now. But there's a scripture in the book of Galatians where the Apostle Paul asked the church in Galatia, here's the question he asked them. He says, who hindered you? Because Paul was like teaching them and training them and giving them the game, and they hit a pocket to where they just kind of fell off. Have you ever had that experience where it's like, okay, I'm motivated. I heard what Ramon was saying. I'm finna get my holding company. I'm gonna learn how to do QuickBooks. I got to get my tax strategies up. Everything Ramon is saying is checking every box. He's not like the other gurus. I may have had a bad experience with some people, but I know this is going to be a good experience. It feels good in my spirit. Some of you woke folk, it might be, you know, he got the right energy or the right vibe. Hey, it is what it is. But my point is, at some point you can fall off. It could be COVID that made you fall off. It could be a layoff. It could be financial challenges, whatever those things are. I want to reset you because you need to do what? You need to get back on the path to freedom because you know where you want to be. You know who you want to help. I want to keep you focused on that. Your wife needs you. Your husband needs you. Your kids need you. Your church needs you. Your community needs you. Whoever it is that's in your life or whatever it is that's in your life, it might not even be in your present. It might be in your future. And you like, man, am I ever going to get to a place to where I don't have to see my spouse upset because we can't pay the bills? Am I ever going to get to a point to where I'm not waking up with a knot on my chest because I just don't have it? Am I ever going to get to a place to where my paying tithes and giving offerings and going to church and living right and not living ratchet going to pay off? Well, I'm telling you, there's a path for you. There's a path for you. I want to get you and keep you on that path. Okay? So before I tell you what financial freedom is, okay? Remember, if you have any questions, drop it in the comments. If you don't, I want to make sure you're writing the number down that I'm going to give you when I make this offer because I really need to talk with you. I think we really need to go ahead and lock in that initial coaching session. We need to onboard you to our university training platform. We need to get you going today. You feeling it, you know it's there. We got to lock you in so we can move you forward. So before I tell you what financial freedom is, let me show you what financial freedom is not. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought what financial freedom is not? So let me start with what financial freedom is not. Number one, financial freedom is not entrepreneurship. This is going to help somebody today. Because you thought when you quit your job and you started a business, man, I'm finna get the bag, I'm finna be free. Things got worse. I know a lot of people in ministry and in business who thought entrepreneurship / owning their own thing was actually their path to financial freedom. When the truth is, financial freedom is not entrepreneurship. I know a whole lot of entrepreneurs who broke. As a matter of fact, most entrepreneurs don't have money. If you Google the statistics and the surveys and even the studies behind small businesses, which are versions of entrepreneurs in the United States of America, there is roughly 31 million small businesses / entrepreneurs in the United States of America. About 23 to 24 million of those 31 million, that's almost all of them, but about 23 to 24 million of those 31 million entrepreneurs or small business owners don't even break even every year, meaning that they ain't even got no money. They got to wake up every day to own a job because they don't have financial freedom. And most of them, if you did a survey on them, I guarantee most of them had the belief that entrepreneurship was their path to financial freedom. Because you might have said it to yourself, man, I'm sick of this job. Man, I got to do my own thing. I'm going to just get out. If I'm going to grind 8 hours a day for somebody else, if I'm going to just be stuck in this rat race, I might well go do it for myself for 8 hours. I can make $100 a day. I can make $200 a day, only to find out that as an entrepreneur, life got worse. Because now you ain't got no insurance. You ain't got no benefits. You ain't got no sick days. You owe taxes now. You see how all this stuff start piling up? Because entrepreneurship is not financial freedom. So that's number one. Isn't that good? I can't hear nobody. I can't hear nobody. That's good. Prophet Ramon, I hadn't thought about that one there, dog. You got one on me on there, boy. So number one, financial freedom is not entrepreneurship. So if you own a business, if you're going into full-time ministry, you want to be a philanthropist, you want to be a community servant, none of those operations that fall under the umbrella of entrepreneurship describe financial freedom. That's not it. Number two, financial freedom is not business ownership. Financial freedom is not business ownership. Now, I'm going to show you the difference between entrepreneurship and business ownership, because business ownership is different from entrepreneurship, because you can have a side hustle, you could have a LLC, you could actually have a nonprofit organization and still fall under the category of entrepreneurship. Business ownership is more about you owning a business system. Most people who have LLCs or nonprofit 501c3s or C Corps and S Corps, most of them don't have C Corps, but S Corps, most of these individuals, or sole proprietors or independent contractors or network marketers, most of them that even have legal entities don't own a business system. They have a legal entity, but they don't have a business system. So there's a fundamental difference. But financial freedom is not business ownership, meaning that somebody can sell you a business. Oh, I'm selling a business, a restaurant for $30,000, all the equipment. You know, I'm selling my hair salon. It's got 10 bays. 7 of them are already filled with stylists. We got clientele of about 50 people in our database that always come at least once a month. You could generate $80,000 a year, even if you bought that business. Business ownership is not financial freedom. As a matter of fact, you're probably buying somebody else's problem. Because if it wasn't that big of a problem, they probably wouldn't sell it. If you got a fake piece of jewelry and a real piece of jewelry, are you going to keep the fake piece of jewelry and sell the real piece unless you're just struggling? But if you got it going on and you don't have to sell it, you're not going to just sell the real piece. You ain't finna sell your VVs and keep your QZs. For those of you that don't know what I just said, you ain't going to sell real diamonds with clarity and keep a cubic zirconia, something you could buy at the dollar store or Claire's. Okay? So number 2, financial freedom is not business ownership. Here's another one. Number 3, financial freedom. This is going to be a big one for somebody. But listen to what I'm saying. Financial freedom is not debt freedom. Boy, that's big. That's big what I just said. I want you to swallow that, and you should be taking notes, because this is your noonday class. You need to start looking at the Ramonepreston Show Monday through Friday as an extension of my class, an extension of my training. So number 3, financial freedom is not what? Financial freedom is not debt freedom. So let me give you 2 examples, because it's like twofold. As a matter of fact, a lot of what I'm sharing with you now, I'm going to be talking about later in our coaching call. And we're starting to add new content to our university platform, the Blueprint Game Plan. So a lot of this information within the next month or 2, you're going to have available to do more training on in the Blueprint Game Plan when you get access to it. But let me show you what I mean when I say financial freedom is not debt freedom. Number 1, it's not debt freedom even if you are no longer in debt. It doesn't mean you're financially free. Let's say if you owe nobody anything. Let's say if your car was paid off. Let's say if you didn't have a mortgage. Let's say you didn't have no credit cards, no student loans, no payday loans. You don't owe cuz or Uncle Junebug no more. You done paid everybody off, right? That debt freedom doesn't equate to financial freedom. You're just debt free. Now, on the other hand, financial freedom is not debt freedom, because most people who are financially free, don't miss this. And if you don't catch what I'm saying, it's because you need to learn more about what I'm saying. Most people who are financially free are not free from debt. You just missed it. I know you don't get what I just said. Some of you probably do. Let me say it again. Most people who are financially free are not free from debt. See, in one of my courses, I teach the difference between consumer debt and capital debt. There's a difference between consumer debt and capital debt. Consumer debt is a liability that takes money from you. Capital debt is actually an asset that flows money to you. So people who are financially free are not debt free in that they have capital debt to use as leverage to get further quicker. That was for free. And it ain't free. Number 4, financial freedom is not wealth. Financial freedom is not wealth. So even when you get to a point that you are financially free, based on the definition and the description of financial freedom, even when you get to that point, guess what? It's still not wealth. Wealth is the next level, because wealth is not just financial freedom. Wealth is physical freedom. Wealth is mental, emotional, spiritual freedom. Wealth is intellectual, human freedom. Wealth encompasses all of the main assets that make the totality of your life what it needs to be. Wealth is like the ultimate thing that God wants you to live in. But in order for you to experience wealth on a certain level, it has to include financial freedom. But financial freedom is not wealth. Number 4. And number 5, financial freedom is not, please, this is where the game is about to change for somebody. Number 5, financial freedom is not independence from commitment, education, training, or economic accountability. So that means if you want to get on the path to financial freedom so that you can actually experience what financial freedom is, that means you're never going to be free or independent of commitment. So financial freedom is not independence from commitment. See, this is the mindset that some people who want to be financially free have. They think, oh, I'm going to get to a certain point. I ain't got to be committed no more. I ain't got to work for nobody no more. I ain't got to listen to nobody no more. That's not financial freedom. Financial freedom is actually being able to, like, we're in here working today. If y'all could see how we was like clapping and shouting and having a good time because of how our morning went, you wouldn't even think we're here working. You would be like, are they at work? We all showed up to come to work today. So in essence, we're not free, but in reality, we are free, because we're free to do what we know needs to be done to change the world. And we're getting paid and compensated to do what we love to do to change the world. So we don't have this mindset. I definitely ain't got the mindset that financial freedom is independence from commitment. Like, we just got this idea that I'm going to just be on an island butt naked with oil, grease, fried chicken, and a pina colada on the beach. You know, it just, come on. If you don't sit your greasy behind down, your oily behind down. No. That's not financial freedom. It's not independence from commitment. Have you ever seen wealthy people? Like, people look at Warren Buffett and be like, dog, the dude like almost 120 years old. He's got like $100 billion and he's still showing up to work every day. To you, it's work. To you, it's like, man, he's still committed to that company. He's still doing all that. To you, it's like that because you're not free. He's free. So watch this here. And this is actually a biblical principle. The Apostle Paul talks about how he made himself a slave or a servant to God for God's people. He literally subjected himself. He was so free, he subjected himself to the call of God. See, you got to be so free that you can bind yourself to an assignment. Oh my God. I want to be so financially free that I can commit to do whatever needs to be done to change anybody's situation. And somebody else will look at it as, yeah, but you're still bound. You're still obligated. You still got to do this and got to do that. See, you're not free. That's why you see it that way. When you're really free, you know you're never independent of commitment. If you don't understand what I'm saying, it's because you need to listen to this language and message and this type of information more so it can become a part of your MO. So financial freedom is not independence from commitment. It's not independence from education. When I was really heavy in ministry, I could tell when I was listening to a preacher who never studied. I could tell when I listened to a preacher who was uneducated on present truth, who really never exposed themselves to revelation. It wasn't that they were uneducated. They were just uneducated on the now. They were still, have you ever talked to somebody and it's like every time you talk to them, they're like, well, when I was 8, when I was 22, or well, back in the days, man, when when I was like 15, it's like, are you living in today or you living in 87 years ago? You still in 1920, boo. You know why? Because they have not educated themselves with current truth. So the truth is they created this independence from education. Like, I'm good now. I done went to college. I got my degree. Don't you know there are some studies that have been done to show that most people who leave college with a degree never further their education? Which means you could talk to somebody 30 years after they graduate from college and they still thinking the same way they did. They still operate on the same level they did and probably work in a similar job that they did when they got out of college. Because they thought in their mind, I'm free. I'm free from school. I'm grown now. I ain't got to go back to school. But that's not what freedom is. It's not independence of commitment or independence from commitment or from education and training or economic accountability. So those are the 5 things financial freedom is not. So what is financial freedom? I'm glad you asked. Here's what it is. Please take notes. Financial freedom is the ability to do what you want without financial limitations. Whew, I'm giving y'all game on this Monday. Some of y'all better either sign up for my coaching program today or send me an offering. One of the two. I'm about to start giving my Cash App out. Cash App me. If you ain't gonna sign up for my coaching program, Cash App me. Just show me you appreciate me. Cause I'm sick of it. And I ain't say sick of it. I'm sick of it. Financial freedom, ladies and gentlemen, is what? The ability to do what you want without financial limitations. Without financial limitations. So when you are financially free, you can do what you want to do, watch this, without financial limitations. Let me show you how powerful this is. My personal assistant, spiritual daughter, she know I used to drill home that and still do all the time. Don't tell me what you can't do. When we talk about money, don't talk about your limitations, what you ain't got. It ain't no I ain't got it. You ain't got it in your head. It's the reason why we ain't got it in our hands because we ain't got it in our head. So financial freedom is the ability to do what you want without financial limitations. Now, here's the question I want to ask along the lines of this definition. Where do you think the limitations financially start at? Where do the financial limitations start at? If you have a financial limitation in your bank account, did it start there? It started in your mind. So when you're financially free, you should have the ability to do what you want to do without financial limitations. Remember when we first started the show, I told you, get an image of what you want to do and how you want to do it and who you want to do it for. Your spouse, your mama, grandma, your uncle, your dad, your children, your grandkids. Well, you have to be free to be able to do that in your head. Can you see yourself hiring your spouse so they ain't got to work no more? Can you see yourself paying off mama car, buying mama a new car? Can you see yourself making sure your kids got an education and ain't got to worry about nothing. If you can imagine it and wrap your mind around that place, go there, guess what you just exercised? Guess what you just exercised? You just exercised financial freedom. Because you made a decision to do something and you didn't allow your finances to limit you from going there. If you can replay that over and over again in your mind, in your head, in your ear, in your heart, in your life enough, guess what will happen? Your behaviors will start showing that you have no limitations. Because now you have fixed it in your mind. I'm going to get to that place so my wife ain't got to be looking crazy. I used to be there. Man, it used to bother me so much when I knew my wife was feeling some kind of way because we ain't had the money to pay the bills. And she was, I'm all right, honey, I'm okay. And I used to be like, man, I ain't okay. I ain't okay. And I ain't have a pot to put it in, a window to throw it out. And I'm like, there's no way on God's green earth I'm going to sit in this doggone apartment when we was in the apartment. There's no way I'm going to sit in this apartment and watch TV and goof off and my wife is going through in her mind. I don't care if I got to ride around the city and pick cans. It's like, no, I can't do that. In other words, I want freedom. I want freedom from stress. I want freedom from strain. I want freedom from having that knot in my chest every day. And whatever I need to do to get that freedom, I'm willing to do it, and I'm able to do it. And remember, that doesn't mean become an entrepreneur. That doesn't mean own a business. That doesn't mean get out of debt. That doesn't mean I'm gonna be wealthy. It doesn't mean I'm gonna free myself of commitment, education, training, or economic accountability. It means I gotta put myself in a position to see where I wanna be and what it feels like being there. And then I gotta come back to my now and say, okay, I got it. And then I got to grab the resources. I got to grab the information. I got to say, Ramon, you know what? Today gonna be the day, bruh. Sir, you have convinced me. You got me like Paul got King Agrippa. You have persuaded me to be a part of your business community because I ain't gonna never be broke another day in my life. I ain't gonna never struggle and wonder where it's coming from another day in my life. I ain't gonna never hope and wish for something that I know I can create another day in my life. I'm going to pull the trigger and make that decision. And you listening to me and watching me, you know what I'm talking about. You know what you got to do. And we're going to make it easy for you to do it. So financial freedom is the ability to do what you want without financial limitations. Here's another word or phrase I want you to write down for financial freedom. Financial freedom is economic independence. I love that word, economic. I sound funny when I say it, because my nose is always stuffy. Economic. It's economic independence. What do you mean by economic independence? Well, first of all, when I use the word economics, remember the root word for economic, okay, comes from the idea of running a household. So the origination, the etymology, for all of you nerds out there, the etymology, meaning the origination of the word that's rooted in the English word economic, it carries the idea of running a household. So every time you think of the word economic, think about a house. When you see the word economy, think about the operation of that house. So every person has their own economy. Every household is an economy. Every church, every business, every family unit, every community, every tribe, every nation has its own economy. So financial freedom in essence is economic independence, meaning that when I am financially free, don't miss this, I also have the ability to take care of the people, the places, and things around me without financial limitations. So you see how financial freedom, it covers you to do the things you want to do without financial limitations, but then it opens you up to be able to do those same things for the people, places, and things that mean most to you. That's financial freedom. See, a lot of my drive and ambition and motivation and inspiration and determination and grit and grind and courage is really not for me. Because deep down inside, if it was just for me, I can survive with a whole lot less because I have. But a lot of that stuff comes from the people, places, and things that I want to do for without financial limitations. And I know you watching me today. You watching me today. If you are an individual watching me and you know you have a desire to change your financial situation, you know you have a desire to start a business or to scale that business, to start or to scale a ministry, a nonprofit, a charity, a foundation. These are things that you have in your heart you want to do for people, for certain places, and for certain things. I've had so many conversations just within the last few weeks with people who just want to do so much for their church. They want to do so much for their community. They want to do so much for their tribe. And guess what? You can do all those things. I know you can do those things. I'm a living witness because I used to have those same dreams and desires. But I had some barriers. And before you say it, oh, I ain't got the money, that ain't your barrier. That's not your problem. That is not your problem. You know money is not your problem. It's information, it's training, it's being around the right people. And as a matter of fact, if you want to build a business and be successful, if you want to increase your income and not struggle financially, here's the next part of that question. Why do you want it? I can almost answer it for you. You want it because you want to be free. You want to do what God put in your heart to do. You know, you feel like God told you to serve food to the community. You know, God put something in your heart to design. He put something in your heart to create, to provide service to certain sectors. Whatever those products and services are that are in your mind that you know you want to see through the form of a business, a ministry, financial success, guess what? The barriers that are in your way, you got to be willing to move them. And you might think, well, how can I move them, Ramon? I don't have what it takes to move them. Well, what does it take to move it? What does it take to move it? So let's say you have a picture in your hand, like a picture that you put on the wall. It's a painting, or it's a picture of you and your family, grandma, mama. Let's say if you had this big family picture of the family that's around you now and some of your family members that may have passed away. Let's say if you had this nice picture and then you got this one wall in your apartment or in your house that you got and you just want to put it on that wall. Let's say you got that picture, you want to put it in the wall. I want you to imagine that picture having everybody. I can imagine that picture right now with me, my siblings, my niece, my grandkids, my nephews and nieces, my mama, my grandma, my daddy, all my loved ones that I miss and are no longer here. If I have a picture, imagine being able to put that on the wall. But here's the problem. I don't have a nail or a hammer. So what am I going to do? It's only a certain length of time that I'm going to keep that picture sitting on that wall. Because I'm going to feel like I'm doing my mama them a disservice, right? Every time I walk in that room and I see my grandma them on the floor, it's just something that's going to make me feel like, oh, bruh, you going to leave grandma on the floor? Your mama dead, your daddy gone. You living a legacy. Your children got to walk in your room and be like, Daddy, why my picture on the floor? That's not what you want. So that's what financial freedom is. Financial freedom is that picture, okay? Now, how you get there, the path you take, it may include certain things, but it ain't the certain things that you think it includes. So if I came to you and I gave you a nail and I gave you a hammer and I brought you in that room and said, let me show you something. And we picked that picture up of every one of your family members and we nailed that picture to the wall. How would you feel after having heard your mama in your head say, boy, put that picture up? But girl, you still walking in the room without that picture? Or your children or your niece or nephew like, Auntie, Uncle, why my picture ain't on the wall? How would you feel? You'll be so excited because you're going to be like, oh my God, I can't wait till they come over again. I'm going to cook dinner and invite everybody over and I'm going to see what their response is going to be. What do you think their response is going to be? Oh, you put it up. Oh, look at me. Y'all going to start crying, thinking about mama and daddy. This is financial freedom, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you what it is. And so here's what I want you to do. I want you to move past what's blocking you from putting that picture up. I want you to move past from what's blocking you from inviting the family over and letting them see that you finally did something that you know gonna change your life, that you know is gonna change your last name, your legacy. Well, Ramon, what is it? Well, it's actually you being a part of a business community so that you can start training. Our 1-year business coaching program is designed to train you and to coach you to become better at business ownership, ministry leadership. We teach you sales, marketing. We teach you financial systems. We have a 52-week live Zoom coaching call, which is tonight at 5 p.m. that I want you to be on. We provide an initial coaching session for you in this 1-year business coaching program to help identify with what your goals are. What do you want to accomplish? Like, what is your picture? And we show you how to use the nail, how to use the hammer, how to put the picture up. Because once you get it and we do it a couple times, guess what's going to happen? Anybody house you go to and they got a picture on the wall or on the floor, guess what you're going to say? Man, I got a hammer and nails in the car. Let me show you. You don't have to leave that picture on the floor. That picture is affecting you emotionally. And I know because somebody showed me. That's what we're doing in our 1-year business coaching program, because it's bigger than just your business. It's bigger than just your bank account. It's about making sure that you can put the picture of your legacy on the wall and everybody who sees it can celebrate you. So I want you to make that decision today. And don't overthink it. Well, I just got to pray about it. I got to think about it. That's one of the biggest things I hear. Let me think about it. Stop what you're doing. Here's what I want you to do real quick. Think about a banana. Right now, I want you to think about a banana. Think about a banana. Think about a banana. Did you think about a banana? Do you know what a banana looks like? Do you know what color it is? How long did it take for you to think about a banana? You just thought about it. So why do you have to think about changing your future? Why? Why do you have to think about changing your financial situation? Well, it's just the cost. Okay. All right. Let's do the math. Our 1-year business coaching program is $5,000. Initial coaching session, 52 weeks of live Zoom coaching calls, 52 weeks of training, 1-year access to our blueprint game plan to learn all about business, finances, holding companies, tax strategies. You get 4 quarterly masterminds to sit with me and other business owners to flesh out your strategies. You get 4 VIP workshops to learn about sales, marketing, financial systems, executive systems, business systems. You get all of that for $5,000. So let's just do the math. What if I told you today that if you give me $5,000 right now, let's do the math right quick. What if I told you if you gave me $5,000 today on this Monday, all right? And once you give me the $5,000 in one hand, in the other hand, I'm going to give you a 30% raise on every dollar that you make every 30 days. What if I told you that you give me $5,000 and I'm going to give you something that's going to allow you to get a 30% raise immediately, minimum, and you can use that thing for the rest of your life, and that 30% going to turn into 32, 35, 37, 46. What if I told you that? So you got $5,000 that you give me, and I said, you know what, give me $5,000, and whatever your annual income is, if you add your income for a whole year, let's say if it's 20 grand a year, that I'm going to give you something to turn that 20,000 plus 30%. So let's do the math on that. You make 20,000 a year, we add 30%, that's 26,000. So I turn your 20,000 into 26,000. Would that 6,000 or 30% increase change your financial situation? And by the way, it will work for the rest of your life, and that's the least you're going to get on a return. Well, this is what we do. Our program is structured with all of this training and coaching to not only properly set your organization up correctly within the first 30 days, but our program is structured in a way to increase your income, whether you are a W-2 employee, a 1099 contractor, a EIN business owner or nonprofit owner, or all of the above. Our system has been structured in a way, we have done a lot of work to create this system. It's structured in a way to increase your income. That's the scale of your income by at least 30%. Most people go beyond 30%. We've had clients who have doubled their current income within the first month. And so you cannot allow the barrier of an exchange now to stop what you want to do for the rest of your life. So I urge you and challenge you today, don't overthink it, because we've solved that problem. You thought about a banana. You don't need to think about making a decision to change your life. You've done the math on a $5,000 program. We offer a payment plan option. If you need a payment plan, we can work with you with a payment plan that works best for you. But here's what you have to do today. You shouldn't be thinking about it. I need to think about it. Think about a banana. Every time somebody tells you to think about it, or that they want to think about it, tell them or ask them at that moment to think about a banana. And when they think about it, you ask them next, have you thought about a banana? What color is a banana? Yellow. Oh, you thought about it. So why does it take 3 days to think about it? Because you're being forced to talk yourself out of your freedom. You're being forced to leave that picture on the floor. We want to eliminate that issue. We want to get you from where you at to where you know you're supposed to be, professionally, personally, and financially. So I want you to text the word coaching to 404-478-7213. 404-478-7213. Don't think about it. Text the word coaching to 404-478-7213. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to first and foremost congratulate you, celebrate you for texting that word coaching to us, for making a commitment and a decision to be financially free for you and for your family and legacy. And next, we're going to discuss the best payment plan option for you if you can't make that one-time exchange. But whatever the exchange is that you make, whether it's $5,000 one-time payment, whether it's a 3-month payment plan, a 6-month payment plan, a 9-month payment plan, whatever it is, I want you to understand that in exchange for that, you're getting the nails and the hammer to put the picture up. In exchange for that, you're getting a proven system that has worked to create financial freedom for me and for my family, and it's creating it for everybody around me. Each one teach one, each one reach one. Each one reach one, you keep teaching one. I'm giving you what I have proven in my own personal, professional, and financial life. And I want you to have that because I know how desperate you are to get to where you want to be. I know you want to be free. I know you want your family to respect you. I know you want your children to admire you. I know you want your colleagues to look up to you. And guess what? It's possible because the barrier has been removed, but you got to pull the trigger. You got to make the decision. Text the word coaching to 404-478-7213. For those of you that are already on our blueprint, that means you're a part of our online training community. I need you to move over into the business coaching community. Why is that, Ramon? Because if you have not put yourself in the best position for financial freedom or for your business to scale since you've been on the blueprint, it's not because you're not learning what you need to learn. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you don't have time. It's because your training needs coaching. Your training needs coaching. Most of the people who join the blueprint game plan, most of the people who purchase our online training program, most of those individuals convert over to our coaching program because they realize what I'm telling you. Training is not enough for you. You also need coaching. Sometimes you go into it thinking, oh, I can do it myself, but you realize that life starts happening, and what happens? You get off the path. So for those of you that are already in our blueprint game plan, I want to move you over to our 1-year business coaching program. We're going to automatically upgrade you to our signature blueprint so you can have access to all of our content and courses, our masterminds, our VIP workshops, our boot camps, everything that we're doing. You can have access to that. And it's going to be a life changer, a game changer for you. So I want you to text the word coaching to 404-478-7213. I'm probably going to continue this discussion, of course, tonight in our live Zoom coaching call. But most likely, I'm going to continue this discussion tomorrow because I want to keep you on the path to financial freedom. Don't think about it. Don't get hung up on the price and the cost. Keep your focus on the value, not of our program, but the value of the quality of your life when you're financially free. Okay, I love y'all. Thank you so much for being a part of the Ramonepreston Show today. Same place, same time tomorrow. We out.